Hey, here's a simple idea that you can use to take an idea and evolve it to make it more complex and interesting. Now, this is something that was inspired by a private lesson that I recently taught, so shout out to the student that I worked with who helped inspire this idea. Now, let's say that we have a simple picking pattern in 5/8, in this case in F-A-C-G-C-E tuning, key of C major. So the picking pattern is sort of like this. So that's all nice, and you know, it definitely is a fine line to kind of just start with. It definitely has its time and place, but if we wanted to make this more interesting, what we could do is basically treat it as a rhythmic template. So if I take the exact form and shape and picking pattern of this idea, but I move some of the notes around, we can essentially change the sound while building off of our original template here. So for example, it's easier to just demonstrate this. If I take the first bit of the pattern here, like the first 4 notes, so what we can do is maybe move the bass notes. That would be probably the easiest place to start with an idea like this here. So if I take the second bass note and just descend a semitone to the 7 of the key, we already can change the sound. Now if I continue my picking pattern as if everything was the same, but I'm just moving the bass notes around, we'll get this kind of sound. Now if we move to another bass note, like let's say we go down to the 6th of the key, we'll get this. And if we finish it off, we can move to, say, to like the flat 7 of the key, to this like B flat major type sound. We could again get another sense of movement in here. So now this is the exact same picking pattern, but with bass note shifting here. So this already makes things sound a lot more complex. Yeah. Now we could do the same thing with the upper notes. In this case, maybe we'll just try something a little more simple. So let's say I start with our descending pattern. So maybe I could go to this fretted note instead. So maybe we could try something like this here. So I'm going to change the middle notes as well. So then maybe jump up again and end on that same open note we had before, or like that. So maybe we could try that idea here with a little bit of a shift right there as well. That definitely adds more complexity and more movement in the upper note melody as well at the same time. So again, I'm taking a template here, template picking pattern, template rhythm, and just moving some of the notes around while keeping the same rhythm, same form, and same shape. So this is something that I think really, really works well. I love to do this technique because when you have this sort of simple bass, it helps you to get a nice kind of grounding in a simple groove and a simple feel. And when you really start playing around with the idea of just moving notes, it really shows you how complicated an idea can get. So this idea can get way more complicated depending on how much movement I want to introduce, how often I want to shift in the upper and the lower part. Yeah, the frequency of the shifting really adds this like whole layer of complexity to this idea here. So anyways, I would give this a try, again, taking a simple rhythm and just moving some aspects of it around using the templating technique. I hope this helped, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.